Welcome to Running on Reddit, r/AskReddit, where people ask their most thought-provoking questions and are answered back with interesting responses. r/AskReddit, divorce lawyers of Reddit, what is the most insane, evil, funny, dumb way a spouse has tried to screw the other? I'm not a lawyer, but work in the court system. One case that came in was a couple divorcing on mutual terms. The husband had one child with her, and the wife had a child from the previous marriage. He agreed to pay child support for both children. I guess he really cared about this other enough to support her, even though it isn't his obligation. Judge signs the order. They go to set up the child support account, and it gets kicked back saying you can't have two accounts for one child. Turns out she's been collecting child support from the biological father the entire time and never told him. She basically tried to milk two fathers for one child, and the other attorney knew about it. Here in Canada, a kid can legally have up to 4 individuals responsible for paying his or her child support. There was a court case a few years ago where a lady tried to change that law and have the number up to 5. Dedication. Why would you need that many people paying for a child? Honest question, since it seems very strange. In rational thought, none I can think of. Only thing I've ever heard of any kind of thought behind it is placing a monetary value on a relationship. The hashtag men's rights crew has a point in Canada. Our laws are pretty messed up. I decided to invest in condoms and not get married until my late 30s. I guess that's one way to do it. You want to live free off of other people's money. Your older years are going to be tough when child support no longer pays and you've learned nothing in life. Special needs, specialized schooling, some other form of health issues. But I'm from the US, where none of that stuff is covered past the first 6 months. You're misrepresenting the law here. A child can have up to 4 parents on their birth certificate. It is for blended families. Example, 2 gay men and 2 gay women have a baby together and share custody. No, not really. I know a woman that currently has 4 dudes paying child support for her kid. 2 of the dudes know and can't do anything. Other 2 are oblivious. One guy was dad, one thought he was dad, and the other 2 were stepdads that she entered into common law status with. That is an example of abusing the rule's intended purpose. Not my case, but during my first year of law school, lawyers from different practices came to give us a peek behind the curtain of different areas. The divorce lawyer told the story of rather well-to-do couple that spent months and months and many tens of thousands of dollars fighting over absolutely everything, all the way down to a single ceramic ashtray. He couldn't remember the significance, but somehow it had come through the husband's family. Even after everything else had been decided, they spent many more months and nearly $100,000 fighting over just this ashtray. Then, after a court hearing, the wife finally won the ashtray. She promptly strode out to the white courthouse steps and smashed the ceramic ashtray, left the pieces all over for the husband to see on his way out. Decided that day I would not be a divorce lawyer. TLDR, spend $100,000 to win an ashtray only to smash it in spite. I think you made a good decision. After reading all these answers, it's stuff like this that really makes me wonder, why the hell did you get married in the first place? If you're getting down to a $100K ashtray that you only want to win so the other side doesn't have it, then destroy it. Why the hell did you marry them? What happened? Wasn't that the love of your life? Once had a boss who had to leave his house for 6 hours while his ex-wife grabbed all the belongings she was legally entitled to. When he returned home, every knob and handle was gone. Doorknobs, cabinet handles, drawer handles, anything that was screwed onto something and used to open it, she had taken. Every day for the next week he would occasionally yell out she took the ducking knobs. My friend's mom did this when she found out her husband was cheating. In addition, all the light bulbs and toilet paper, even the light bulb in the fridge. She knew he would come home from work in the evening and have to figure out what was going on. That sounds like the best way to mess with someone. I'm an interpreter who works frequently with police and lawyers. The most out there thing I ever interpreted in court went like this. Miss So-and-so, we know each other for a long time, correct? Yes. As a matter of fact, we have known each other for 5 years, correct? Yes. And at the end of each and every meeting we had during the past 5 years, we always agreed on one thing, correct? Yes. Please, tell the judge what we agree on. It's not okay to break in my ex's apartment and lick all his cutlery. Yet, here we are, Miss So-and-so. I died. If you like the content and want to support the channel, like and subscribe right now, or you'll be running on fumes. I didn't handle the divorce, I handled parts of the aftermath. In the divorce, she went AWOL, was living in a truck somewhere, and just couldn't handle it mentally. He gave her 5 of his 9 companies. They were the ones that owed 7 figures in payroll taxes. He had made her the bookkeeper on paper. She spent decades trying to shake the IRS for the results. Is there a way to say, no, I don't want this, or is it just that she didn't know about the debt? TIL, when you're about to go through a divorce, don't clean out the accounts and hide the money. Grab your pets and put them in a safe place where nobody will ever find them until the divorce is all long over. I tried to do this, but my soon-to-be ex called the cops on me. I explained how abusive he was. Picture a sobbing, sleep-deprived woman covered in bruises and a broken leg in a cheap hotel lobby trying to explain to the cops that her husband tried to kill her the night before, but the cops told me that because I left and took the dogs with me without telling him, fled in the middle of the night, that I was in the wrong, and even if I wanted to argue out keep the dogs would have you stay with him until a judge decided. Cops took my dogs back to him. All happened within 4 hours of my leaving. I never saw my dogs again. For real. One of my friends caught his wife cheating, told her to move out as soon as she could, but he didn't kick her out. He stayed at a friend's house for the night, went to work, but went home afterwards. She moved out while he was at work, which was nice and all, but she bleached all of his fish tanks, including an on and off prize winning guppy bloodline he had been maintaining for almost a decade. A soon-to-be ex-husband left his wife's prize koi to die on the doorstep of their house. Apparently the value of these fish, 6 in total, was over $100,000. She was, according to her lawyer, so distraught that she couldn't be in court. Only in LA. What the duck? Is this not destruction of livestock/property and animal abuse? Koi are really long-lived fish and can become a bit friendly too. Q. Light research. A koi was sold for $1.8 million. I imagine they had value beyond dollars to her. Many times, koi ponds represent a peaceful zen-like environment. Much needed in place like LA. Perhaps he was trying to destroy her peace of mind and duck with her money. People are the worst. What does a koi do that a goldfish doesn't? Grow very very slowly, which is why they are so expensive at certain sizes and cost thousands and thousands more than a normal goldfish, unless said goldfish is made of literal gold. But even then you'd need like a full tank of goldfish. To be honest, you could replace your goldfish every week. It's a shoddy thing to do, but can be done. Really? So like if I were renting a house and it has a koi pond in the back with 7 koi that are 8 to 15 years old, are they very valuable? Their value is based on length and pattern. Could be $25, could be thousands. It's a fascinating little world. Netflix should do a series with koi like The Tiger Show. With big money like that, I wonder how cutthroat the people in the koi world are. The koi at the fish market near my house are like older F. They've been there since I was 5 years old. I'm 24 now. Not sure if they're the same ones though. Most likely are, since their lifespan is about 30 years. The oldest reported koi was thought to be 226 years old. I don't think your comment is accurate. WTF lol, that's old as hell. That's obviously not within the average lifespan. If true, it definitely had to have been living in optimal conditions and cared for over generations. I mean yeah lol, but still, 30 would be the low end if 230 is the maximum. That still leaves 2 centuries as wiggle room. In my opinion, that's pretty decent. How about a wholesome, insane one? I'm not a lawyer, but this was told to me by my mom regarding the divorce she got from my dad. They couldn't settle on an alimony amount. Mom and her lawyer came in with a number, dad countered with a number. They couldn't agree, because my dad thought my mom should get twice the amount in alimony she was asking for, and my mom didn't want my dad to give her that much money for month. It took months for them to settle on a figure that appeased both of them. Even then, my mom puts aside the extra above what she wanted in case my dad ever has a financial emergency, and my dad puts aside the extra she didn't want in case my mom ever has a financial emergency. The funny thing is, they don't know the other is putting the money aside for the other. My mom told me about her emergency stash, and my dad told my brother about his emergency stash. Bro and I discussed it while talking about what nut jobs our parents are. Edit. I've gotten a lot of support for this response. Thank you. I'm not going to say that their divorce was perfect. It wasn't. There were still some hurt feelings and resentment from all parties involved. However, my parents, for all their flaws, both accepted their own responsibilities for the falling apart. I think it helps that they still loved each other deeply. They just weren't in love anymore. They have been friends since my mom was 2 and my dad was 3. Started dating when mom was 12 and dad was 13. They separated at the ages of 49 and 50. It makes sense that they grew apart. I've had a few people ask why they divorced in the first place. My dad had a girlfriend for at least 15 years, possibly longer. My mom knew, but they agreed to not divorce until my younger brother had graduated high school. My dad got remarried to his girlfriend. My mom has also since remarried. All 4 of them get along famously now. The separation and divorce happened about 10 years ago. I'm very lucky to have 4 parents who care about me and who absolutely adore my own little dudes. Okay, I'm leaving this thread while the warmth from this post is making me feel better after reading about all the crazy people. That was a great note to end on. It was heartwarming to hear that people can still care about their ex's well-being after a divorce. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on the bell or you'll be running on fumes. See you in the next video.